Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Rhea Ripley has shared an interesting message for WWE referee Daphne LaShawn. The Eradicator responded to LaShawn's post on social media. Ripley was recently in action at the Evolution Premium Live event, where she faced Io Sky. She unsuccessfully challenged Sky for the Women's World Championship after Naomi cashed in her Money in the Bank contract to walk away as the new champion. On X/Twitter, Ripley reacted to LaShawn's post about what a star would do if she caught them breaking the rules during a match. The Eradicator jovially responded that she would end up kissing her if she were to be caught by the WWE referee. Vince Russo thinks WWE often presents Rhea Ripley weaker than she is. Vince Russo believes that WWE often portrays Rhea Ripley as significantly weaker than she is, despite her size advantage over most of her adversaries. Speaking on the Wrestling Outlaws, Russo pointed out how WWE fails to present certain superstars as powerhouses. He said, "The announcers were also selling the size of the guy. You know, Gorilla Monsoon would be selling the size. Bro, you never hear them sell the size of Rhea Ripley or Raquel Rodriguez. They never sell their size, so that was the thing. When they were selling the size, they would say that you gotta get Andre off his feet, you gotta. So, now, when that babyface is trying to do, they are selling the size." Ripley will be in action at the upcoming WWE SummerSlam Premium Live event. She will face Naomi and Io Sky in a triple threat match, with the Glow set to defend the Women's World Championship against the two former champions. The match was made official by General Manager Adam Pearce after Naomi was interrupted by Ripley and Sky on the latest edition of Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley knew exactly what she was doing when she pressed post. The photo she attached was innocuous enough, a backstage selfie, black and white, a rare candid smile on her lips. But the caption? That was the reason her comments section exploded within minutes. 2. Kiss you. 3 words. No context. No follow-up. No explanation for why the reigning WWE powerhouse, the Eradicator of the Judgment Day, would openly send such a cryptic line, and tag none other than Eddie Ortega, a WWE referee who, until now, had only hovered at the edge of the fans' attention. But for those who pay close attention to the small moments, the stolen glances, the subtle body language, this wasn't entirely out of nowhere. It started a few months back on Raw. Rhea was in the middle of a heated brawl with Liv Morgan. The match had descended into chaos, steel chairs, slammed barricades, Liv's shrill laughter echoing in the arena. And in the middle of the storm was Eddie, trying to maintain order like an unflappable lighthouse in a hurricane. Fans noticed it, when Liv shoved Rhea into him by accident, when he instinctively caught her by the waist to steady her, when their eyes locked for half a second longer than necessary before she tore herself away and speared Liv into the announce table. That moment was clipped, gifted, and dissected on fan forums. Was it just instinct? Was there a spark? Was it storyline? Was it real? Rhea never addressed it. Neither did Eddie. He went back to calling matches, stoic, professional. She went back to brutalizing the women's roster, dominating with that mix of cruelty and charisma that makes her impossible to look away from. But fans never forgot. And now, too. Kiss you. Backstage that night, the tension was palpable. The post had been up for only 15 minutes when Rhea walked into Gorilla. She pretended not to notice the stares from other superstars scrolling on their phones. Damian Priest raised an eyebrow when she passed. Finn Balor gave her a smirk that said "I know what you did," but wisely kept his mouth shut. Rhea liked that about Finn. He knew when to push, and when to let her play her games. She found Eddie by the catering table, exactly where she knew he'd be. He looked up, startled, as she walked straight toward him. His ears were red. She found that adorable. "Hey," she said, leaning her forearm on the table, close enough that he could smell the lingering leather of her ring gear. "Hey!" He cleared his throat, glancing down at his phone. Of course he'd seen it. The poor man probably had a dozen texts from co-workers already, asking what's going on. She grinned, wide and wicked. "So, seen my post?" Eddie let out a breathy laugh, trying to play it cool. "You trying to get me fired, Ripley?" "Who, me?" She tilted her head, eyes glinting. "You think Hunter's gonna fire his Golden Girl's favorite referee? Not a chance." He gave her a look, half exasperated, half amused. "You're impossible." She shrugged. "Maybe. Or maybe I'm just honest." He hesitated, then asked, voice low, "And are you? Honest, I mean." Rhea leaned in just a little closer, until his back pressed to the table behind him. She liked seeing him squirm, the big bad ref, who could stand between giants like Roman and Brock without flinching, but a few whispered words from her made him flush to his ears. "You want me to be honest, Eddie?" she murmured. He swallowed. "Yeah." She paused for dramatic effect, then said, deliberately echoing her post, "I want to kiss you." Silence. Just the hum of the vending machine, the distant echo of slammed lockers, laughter down the hall. And then, very softly, Eddie said, "Yeah?" Rhea chuckled. "Yeah. Of course, they didn't kiss there. Not yet." Rhea Ripley never gave anyone what they wanted exactly when they wanted it. She liked the chase too much, the push and pull, the tension humming under her skin. She loved the thrill of knowing she could have something, someone, and then choosing when. She left him standing there, half shocked, half grinning, mumbling something about "I need to check on the next match" just to escape her presence. She watched him go, admiring the way his hand raked through his hair. He was flustered, she liked him flustered. By the time she returned to the locker room, her phone had detonated. DMs from superstars. Jokes from Dom, who never missed an opportunity to poke fun at his mommy. Even Liv Morgan sent a message, "Lamau girl, are you serious?" Smiley face emoji. Rhea only replied with a winking emoji. Let them speculate. Let them wonder if it was a joke, if it was kayfabe, if it was a power play. Maybe it was all three. Later that night, she was the last to leave the building. She liked the empty arena, the echo of the ring crew packing up, the hush that settled after the crowd's roar faded. She sat on a road case near the ramp, scrolling through the chaos she'd created online. That was when Eddie found her again. He didn't say anything at first, just stood there, hands shoved in his pockets, looking at her like she was some puzzle he wasn't sure he wanted to solve. Rhea raised an eyebrow. "Lose your way, ref?" He stepped closer. Close enough that she could see how tired his eyes were, how soft they looked when they were narrowed in focus mid-match. "You mean it?" he asked. She tilted her head. "What, the post?" He nodded. Rhea slipped off the case, boots landing with a soft thud. She stood in front of him, close enough that her breath stirred the collar of his shirt. "Why don't you find out?" For a heartbeat, she thought he might back down, might laugh it off, say good night, champ, and walk away. But he didn't. He cupped her jaw with one careful hand, as if she were something breakable, which made her want to laugh because she'd never been fragile in her life. And then he kissed her, soft, tentative at first, like a question. Rhea answered it by pressing closer, deepening it, her fingers twisting in the fabric of his shirt. The arena was cold, but her skin burned. His lips were warm. She could taste the faint hint of coffee and adrenaline. When they finally pulled apart, she stayed close enough to feel his breath on her lips. "Guess you found out," she whispered. Eddie laughed, a real, quiet laugh that made her chest tighten in a way that both terrified and thrilled her. "Yeah," he said. "I guess I did." Rhea Ripley doesn't believe in fairy tales. But she does believe in power, in control, in taking what she wants, when she wants it. And tonight? She wanted this. So she posted 3 words, to kiss you. And when the time came, she did exactly that.